please be advised, no humans are involved, no humans are harmed during the presentation of this message. What the?
No, you could have turned the other cheek. Yes, but I didn't. I pushed you, and I pushed back. I ignored you,
and I ignored you back.
I smiled at you.
And I smiled back.
You sure did. I hugged you.
And I hugged you back.
And I tried to lift you. So I smiled at you. I hugged you. And we fist bumped. I got exactly what I gave with each and every one of them. When I pushed you, you didn't smile at me. When I ignored you, you didn't hug me. When I smiled at you, you didn't lift me in the air. When I hugged you, you didn't fist bump me. And you, this man lifts me up. Some people call these responses human nature. They are also, to my eyes, a direct reflection of Sir Isaac Newton's third physical law. How? Have you thought about that recently? I didn't think so. His third physical law, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Remember that? As above, so below. So how would we describe this and Sir Isaac's third law? How would we describe it as an ever-present, never-ending, eternal spiritual principle? We would say, as you give, so shall you receive. This is the law of specificity. And there is great power in being specific. And I'm specifically going to ask you to keep this in mind because we're coming back to it shortly. Thank you. Lots of moving parts this morning. I like lots of moving parts. We started moving through the four spiritual laws of prosperity, as described in Edwin Gaines' book of the same name. And last week we looked at prosperity and what it means. And we all shared together Ed Ween's definition of prosperity, which is the best I have yet encountered. And she says it like this: prosperity is the consciousness of God present everywhere. Prosperity is the consciousness of God present everywhere. Whose prosperity does this refer to? Yours. Someone over here said, mine. Mine. It refers to my prosperity. It's not my prosperity tomorrow and somebody else's today. It's my prosperity, meaning your prosperity. So how does that feel to you? How does that statement feel to you? Does it resonate with you as truth? I'm not telling you it's true. I'm asking you if it resonates with you as truth. And if it does, if it feels true that prosperity is the presence of God, is the consciousness of God present everywhere, let that sink in right now. Don't wait till this afternoon. Let it sink in now. Let it move into every aspect of your life. So, if we wanted to take greater ownership of that statement, because we're very big on affirmations in unity, we use them all the time. We use them and employ them every Sunday. So if we were to make this as a personal affirmation, how would we state her words? Prosperity is my consciousness of the presence of God everywhere. Prosperity is my consciousness of God present everywhere. How would we pull that in even closer? Because your words have power. Your words have formative, creative energy. How would you make it? Any thoughts? I'll give it to you. My prosperity is my consciousness of God present everywhere. Can we affirm that together? My prosperity is my consciousness of God present everywhere. And it's true. And if you sit with that, and if you meditate upon it, and I invite you to do so this week, I invite you to meditate upon that if it speaks to you as truth, as divine truth. And if, in the course of those meditations, if there's a little voice inside that says, well, yes, but not there, and not there. Yes, but there are exceptions. Gently say to that voice, my consciousness is present of God everywhere, and I am prosperous, because that is your prosperity. It is your consciousness and my consciousness aware of God in every place, in every circumstance. It is the very foundation of the prosperity that we speak of. And as I understand it from my life, there are no exceptions. There is no place where it doesn't work. Test it out in your life. Edwin also makes this profound statement, and I use that word profound sparingly, because it's easy to use. She says there are always two things going on, one of two things going on in the universe at one time. There is either circulation or there is congestion. You may have heard it last Sunday, you may have read it. But test it out again now if you've heard it for the first time. There are only one of two things going on. There is either circulation or there is congestion. And when we're not living in the flow, when we're not giving, when she says, when we're not tithing, when we're holding on to the tithe, we are saying to the universe, don't give me any more yet. I haven't tithed on this. I'm not in the flow yet. I want to live in the flow. I want to live in circulation. When you are tithing, you are operating from a place of strength and power and faith. When you are tithing, you are not fearing. There is no fear in tithing. You are operating in a place of God consciousness. You are operating in a place of honoring source and being source at the same time. Honoring source. Because when you tithe, your focus is upon God in all your affairs. And as you give, you are also giving as source. You are giving as God gives, freely and joyfully and unreservedly. And as you move more deeply into the consciousness of tithing, the consciousness of giving, the consciousness of being in the flow, you will find that more and more good is flowing into your life. And as that increasing amount of good flows into your life, you need to direct where it goes, or it will pass you by. Edwin writes her words. She says, setting concrete and practical goals creates a vessel in which you can catch your good. Creating concrete and practical goals creates a vessel within which your good can be caught.